So we're going to cover the must-haves and the must-have-nots. I don't know. The things you should have and things you shouldn't have when it comes to your podcast studio or just shooting videos. We're going to start with the beginners this week and tune in next week to get to the more advanced. What's up, Holly?
What's up? What's up? Super excited to be talking about this topic because I know we were actually talking before we went live, and you're talking about clients that you have. And I know there's been people who I've talked with, and they're like, "Oh, I've got all this equipment, but I don't know what to do with it." I'm like, "Why do you have all that equipment? You don't need all that equipment." So people they almost get discouraged to start their podcast or their videos because they get these shiny object syndrome, and they go in and they buy all this cool stuff, and then they don't know how to use it. They don't know how to set it up. So then it collects dust, and then they just get not motivated because they feel like they don't know how to do it. So I'm super excited to chat about this topic for sure.
Yep. And as you guys know, the Hollie and Krem Show, we talk everything real estate, branding, and content, which fits right into this week. And what we want to cover is basically how to get started. And I want to share something. Speaking of getting started, and like you just said, what do you need? The bare essentials. So it's one of those, I feel more comfortable saying this now that I do have my studio though too. But I'll tell you what, when I first started doing these, Live with Leader, not Live with Leaders. It wasn't at that time, but it was right before that. My studio, my computer was propped up on boxes and random things to get the right height for my computer. I didn't have the stand with the camera and didn't have all that equipment. I was against the only wall that I tricked out for this. The rest of the wall was this ugly yellow. I don't even know what I was thinking. But I had everything that I just needed for this just to go ahead and get started. And like you said, so many times I run into oh, I need to get this before I get started, or I need to get that. But what we want to cover is exactly what you really do need to get started. So Holly, what would be the first thing? So let's break this down first. Let's start with shooting video. Let's not go into podcast right now.
Yeah.
Let's start with shooting video. What would be one of the first things you think somebody needs when they start shooting video?
Okay, so I feel like shooting video and podcast can go hand in hand because video, you already have that visual plus the audio. Yeah. So this is for all things. I feel like I can cover for both, but absolutely 100% number one is going to be good lighting. Because if you're on video, and I'll show you guys here my ring light. Let me show you what I would look like without this. What's going on? This is weird. Why? You know what I mean? I have a blob of light behind me. My eyes are all dark. See the importance of light. So number one, I would say recommend is you guys just get a ring light. Have it to where, in front of you, however you want to angle it. If you have glasses, you'll get a ring around your glasses. So if you have glasses, and we'll make sure to go back and add in the links of all the stuff that we're talking about so you guys know. But if you have glasses, they make these two squares, what John uses, square lights like this. They're studio lights. You'll angle them to the side so they don't reflect off of your glasses. Right.
Oh, Holly is leaving me hanging. What you also need is pretty good internet connection and maybe a charging cord if you're looking to get this started too. Those are highly recommended when you get this going. This has happened to me a couple times already, but that's perfectly fine. But it's going over the bare essentials. And like she was saying, the lighting is important. And again, you don't need, here we go. Holly, I was also just saying a charging cord and good internet are two things as well.
Yes. Yeah. Good internet. Mine I don't know if it was my Wi-Fi or what, but that was so weird. It dropped out, but everything else was running. But anyways, I would say lighting number one, because video is a visual audio, right? So you can always have your subtitles. Oh, I'm hearing some feedback. Are you getting feedback?
With my audio box.
Okay, perfect. So lighting, because at the end of the day, you can always, have subtitles or something around the bottom if your audio is not super clear. But audio is definitely super important as well. But when it comes to videos, you need to have some efficient lighting, ring light. Maybe you have some natural, awesome light, whatever the case may be. But I think lighting is number one in video. What do you think? What is a recommendation for a tool, not a tool, but a product that people could use for videos?
So getting into videos, I want to give both examples. For just going around and shooting video, we already have it. It's the phone. All right. Yeah. So I know we're here to give tools, so I will give the next tool recommendation. But having your phone is the best way to start doing video. Why? Because it's right there in your hand. You don't have to spend time converting it over to something else. I'll tell you what, there was times where we had to convert the file, then break it down and shift it over before we even got into the next step.
Yeah.
So that's the easiest and best thing to do. And my brother and I actually talked about this. We could have went out and got like a really nice camera, but we wanted to make a point that we could do everything from our phone. So we do like all these videos, and like you see, it's like these edits and effects. That's all done from our phone, right? So that's number one. But then also just getting a simple webcam. I think that's something that's super simple, but can separate you just ever slightly. Just having a good picture and having that good quality feed with it too. I use my laptop for just a short period of time, but getting one, I think it's, what is it, like the 5K one or like the whatever pixel. But just getting one that's 4K, it's about $30 to $40 when you look at it online. I know during COVID, those prices like tripled, but now they should come back to about normal. I was going to take my camera off, but I realized that I'm actually using it. But I'll get you because I have two. I have one that's back in Cleveland and one that's here. The one that here is a little bit nicer. But I'll send you the one that we have. I'll put both in the comments. But getting that simple webcam is something that, it can separate you just ever slightly, and it could really make the difference. Because look, we're on video, so we want to look nice. When you have the nice lighting to start and the cam, those are the two most essential things that I think, especially getting started, that people need.
100%. So, and I think too, like going into it, I think first, I guess I should have said this in the beginning, getting clear on what you guys are doing. I think that really dictates the type of technology or gadgets, whatever that you might have. So for instance, if all you're going to be doing is sitting and going live once a week in your office or your studio, then a ring light is great. But like if I'm going to go and go out to the town and, shoot lives there, obviously I can't bring my big old bulky ring light with me because that's just weird. Right. So I think too, it's understanding, where majority of my lives or my videos going to be from. Right. So I think from there, and as a beginner perspective, you don't want to go out and get all these switchboards and do all this stuff and go crazy with it, unless if that's your background, which a lot of people it's not. Right. But I would say absolutely sufficient lighting. I would say absolutely a good quality picture, because like we're saying, it's visuals. Like video, you want to look your absolute best. No one wants the grainy flip phone footage of you.
Right.
So, I think that's going to be that. And then also when it comes to, and it's so funny, is like I always tell people when they're starting out with podcasts, especially because if they're not like super committed to it, or they're like, I think I want to do, or I want to do this. I'm like, cool. So here's like the bare essentials. Bare essentials are going to be, which podcasts also spilling over to video, good lighting. Right. You already said your video camera, or like a web camera, and then a microphone. Like that's going to be the next component that you need. So I think, to me, when you're starting out with videos, I think those three things are the great things you need. Now, obviously, if you're using your phone, that's your phone audio. We'll go into this next week for some 201 gadgets that you guys can even amplify your phone audio with. Yeah. But if you're just starting out, we're trying not to scare you. So this is for those 101ers or people who are looking to get quality videos. It's going to be your ring light. It's going to be your webcam, and it's going to be your microphone, because your microphone, and I don't know, let's see if I would show you guys the difference of it, but I'm scared of messing something up. But your microphone is so important too, because, if someone's listening to you on an airplane, or if they're driving in the car and they have your videos playing and it's connected to Bluetooth, you have to have that crisp audio sound, because if it sounds terrible, they're not going to listen to it.
And it's also thinking about this. Here's something where, again, when I went into like your husband, John's, like video library, and Jay and those guys' video library. That's when it really clicked for me that this is an asset to be used throughout my entire career. Mm-hmm. We're able to take videos that John shot 10 years ago, talking about the essentials in business, the mindsets, and that is still as true then as it is today. Absolutely. And since you guys had the right equipment, since you guys thought ahead and had the right equipment, the right sound, and of course there's always improvements, but this is now an asset to be used now and repurposed, right? So it's keeping that in mind, that I can use like having that mindset coming into this, like I can use this the rest of my career. So let's get the right equipment. We don't have to go crazy. Like I know I've spoken to some people and I'm like, Yeah, you didn't have to buy over half of that. But here's where you want to get started. Again, me and Holly are going to be dropping some links into some ones that we recommend because we use it.
Yeah.
But it's keeping that in mind that, yes, I want the right light because I'm going to use this 5 years from now. Yes, I want the right mic because I'm going to use this 5 years from now. Yes, I want the right camera because I'm going to use this 5 years from now. And how do you want to look? Do you want to look grainy, pixelated, and saying, I have to reshoot a video? I'll tell you what, that is literally one of my least favorite things to do. Realizing that I did not shoot the video and with the right sense. I can take a couple ums and ahs, no problem. But when I realized my hand was shaky or the audio wasn't right, there's nothing that pisses me off more than that, because I understand that it was just a user error because I did not know something yet.
Yeah. And, too, another 101, and you said it without saying it, is a tripod for your phone. So if you guys are using your phone to go live, a tripod, even a selfie stick, is super awesome because, you don't want to look like the Blair Witch Project. You want to have a steady hand. And if you're utilizing that content, you might not even realize it until you go back and watch the video and it looks like an earthquake is happening. So a tripod, invest in a little tripod. I mean, they're like $20. Right. You get a good one for $20 off of Amazon. But yeah, absolutely invest in a tripod so that whenever you guys are doing video with your phone, you aren't having to, prop it up against something and then the camera falls down, or, we've always had that weird wonky situation. So yeah, absolutely get a tripod for sure. If you guys are planning to do something with your phone off site from your in office studio.
Thankfully, this was a Zoom, but there's a big reason you want a tripod. It was like the beginning of COVID. And let's just say, I was doing the full COVID. I had a shirt on and I was wearing my boxers and my phone fell and I just looked. Thankfully, it was on a Zoom with only a couple people. But that's when I realized, like, okay, I need to up my studio a little bit.
Yeah.
that can't happen again. Right.
Yeah. Don't want people knowing that we're not wearing pants.
yeah. That's not usually my go-to. At least on Zoom. No, in any situation, that's not what you want. But it's just those little things that set you apart. And at the end of the day, the reason why I think this is important, that we wanted to bring this to our attention, is because it makes you an expert, right? Mm-hmm. When you look, sound, and feel the parts, all of a sudden people are like, that is an expert, right? 100%. I know that you might say like, oh, this is just for somebody who wants to go No. This is everybody now. You have to look, sound, and feel like an expert. I know there's agents out there right now who lost a deal to some new agent because that agent was better on video. They looked more professional. And you're saying, well, look at the stats. Guess what? People don't like reading as much as they like watching and listening. Yeah. So
100%.
If you want to be the expert, you have to look at the part as well. So continue, Holly. Sorry.
Like you were saying, it's not like you're doing this to, I'm going to do this high production quality show. Yeah. No, this could be for your lives weekly when you're talking about market update. This is for your lives when you talk about buyer and sellers tips. Like these are the foundation, like the fundamental, like the 101 must have. Yeah. Again, you guys can't say enough. Lighting, camera, it's going to be microphone, and then stability of some sort if you are on your phone. So those are the ones that we absolutely like, non-negotiable. Yeah. You have to have with you at all times when it comes to video, because you definitely don't want to have, like Nick said, you don't want to have that new agent that has all the great lighting and all the great audio outbeat you because they have a better appearance online.
Well, and then when you shoot the right videos with this equipment too, now it's something that we talk about all the time, how to repurpose this content into your CRM so that you can send these videos out as part of your drip campaign and be able to utilize this 2-3 years from now. I'll tell you what, I'd much rather work with somebody who sends me that custom video that looks professional than that templated email that every agent sends out throughout the country. Don't get me wrong. If you're doing a drip campaign, you're probably already ahead of the game.
Yeah.
But how do you continue to differentiate yourself? When you're an expert, I'm sure you ask yourself that question all the time. Using these video tips and repurposing this into a drip campaign, that's a great way that you can differentiate yourself from everybody else.
100%. And then also too, I mean, like there's so many ways that you guys can utilize your videos that you're doing. You can also use it for not only marketing, attracting people, but also internally too. So if you're you're building your internal systems and processes, right? Like your how-tos, scripts and stuff like that, record yourself, build an internal catalog, a learning catalog. There's just a lot of opportunity for it. But yeah, you guys have to make sure you have these these 101s when it comes to doing anything video or podcasting, which we all know we can rip that audio from those videos. But yeah, I'm super excited. Next week, you guys, we're going to be talking about like the leveling it up. So if you already have these and you're looking for upping your game just a little bit more, we will be chatting with you guys next week on the next level tool. So before we head out of here, Nick, is there anything else you want to share with anybody regarding?
Why did you ask that, Holly? You're reading my mind. So here's my first one. I should have said, get StreamYard. Seriously, guys. Get StreamYard. We'll drop that link. It's super simple. Oh, there goes my internet. Goes my internet, maybe. But get StreamYard. Here we go. Get StreamYard. It's an easy tool. Anything that we recommend, I know, like everything that I do, I always make sure that it is super user-friendly.
Yeah.
There's an old saying, you have to make sure it's easy enough for a second grader to do it. Well, guess what? Second graders are better at technology than us. So technology game is a little bit different. I had to make sure it's something that I could teach my grandma how to use, which in fact, they're doing a virtual event and I'm getting them to use StreamYard. So I'm literally putting that into practice. But anyways, get StreamYard. There are so many great features. And again, we can go into the more advanced side of this, but even just going live on multiple platforms, being able to interview somebody and have that ticker going across the bottom, those are fundamental things on StreamYard that you can do. Get StreamYard. Even if you're not doing interviews, if you're shooting it by yourself, get this tool. And by the way, StreamYard, if you're listening, which I know you guys are, get a damn affiliate link. I've been referring you guys for the last 4 years. I've been asking for an affiliate link. Come on, guys, show me some love.
That is so funny. But yes, I completely agree with that. And that's what I say to anybody who's doing anything online is like, do you have a StreamYard account yet?
No, get
it. Let's go. So 100%. Because this is, for those who aren't maybe aware, this is the StreamYard is what the platform we're using right now. So you can see the graphics, the overlay. It has that very professional look and feel without having to have a production team having to do all this stuff. So
your video editor might be mad at me, but guess what? I can have my intros, my overlays, all my branding on the screen, and I don't have to send it out, wait a week, get it back, get it revisions, and send it out again. I'm able to do this live, and it's super simple. We got rid of our video editors basically for all this stuff because we were able to do it all through this platform. Get StreamYard, get these other tools. We'll drop it in the links. Holly, thank you so much for coming on, guys. This is the Hollie and Krem Show, real estate branding, everything content, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, everyone.